Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to another episode of Walking with the Master. And let me tell you, I got that group that you all really loved last time. We got them back. You know, I mean, I had to really go out and find them. I had to get somebody up on the mountain calling out to them and all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, we got them here. I'm Grandmaster Abdul Azziz Muhammad, formerly and even currently known in many circles as Grandmaster Anthony Muhammad. And here we really rep Dr. Moses Powell. We love him. He's our father, our grandfather. He's different. He's on different levels, but nonetheless, he's loved and feared by many. so I want to welcome my family here to see you all, to talk and share their life for a moment. And listen, the part of their life they're gonna share is gonna be about that big. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna enjoy all of it, and we're gonna do it again. So this is part 2 to our previous one. We got brother Aquil Sanuces.
Us.
Man, us. Man, we got Aswan Sanuces.
Us. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. We got Majid Sanuces.
Us. Assalamu alaikum.
Us. Wa alaikum salam. And last but not least, we have Ahmad Sanuces.
Oh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Man, listen. I don't know, right? Maybe today we'll kind of go back into When Worlds Collide a little bit. You know, I really want to just again get to the point where we're really going to share your lives and where you are now, but we got to take them back. Got to go back a little bit and just go over. You know, these are all my sons here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you all, love you all, and we're going to do some incredible things, more incredible things together. You are at a early point in my time, you know, but you know, I know I can go even earlier, and that's all before you were born, but but this was a great period of time when Worlds Collide came up, and you were with me prior to When Worlds Collide.
Yes, sir.
You know, we were in school. Were you all
Paul Robeson.
Paul Robeson.
Yeah.
Paul Robeson. Were any of you with me at any point in St. John's?
Majid probably was there.
No, St. John's? No, not at all.
Yeah.
No. So
I came in on that Paul Robeson.
Paul Robeson.
Mm-hmm.
Forever, he was with me in St. John's at a period in time, you know, but he's not able to come on this you know, today. But nonetheless, I want to get into you all right? I don't want to waste any time, you know, because time is so important, and it's been a lot of time since you all have been training. Let me ask, how long has it been since When Worlds Collide, since y'all came with me? How long has it been since you've been there?
It's been at least about
20 some odd years.
20 some odd years now.
Yeah, 20 some odd years.
89?
Yep.
No, yeah, like we talking from
before 80. Before 80,
was it 89? No, it was
no,
89.
we came in around 80. We came in around 80, like
89.
around 90. Around 90, I came in.
Was it?
Well, 90?
Nah,
around 89.
We opened.
It was 89, Majid? Brother Majid, was it 89?
I think a little bit before the 90s, so it was about like 89, around then.
No, it was 89. If I remember correctly, it was 89. Brother Majid brought me to Paul Robeson. He brought me to Paul Robeson.
Else.
And then everybody else came after that.
Yes.
So Brother Majid was responsible for that situation right there, you know, that brought about the Sanuces Brothers, you know. So we got to give that to him. You know, he brought us, he bought me, and then everybody else started coming right after that situation. And we remember coming in Paul Robeson, and yeah, that it altered our lives. It altered our lives. That's what I can say.
How old are you now, Aquil?
So this month makes me 50 years old.
50 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got me. You had me when I was like 17. We were like 17 years old.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Around that time, 17 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I, you know, so that's quite some time. It's quite some time here.
Yeah.
You know?
Aswan,
I'm 47.
You know, this is incredible, man. I don't even. But I don't know, how can you all be that age when I'm just 48?
I know.
Right.
I know.
That's right.
I know.
That's right. I know that's right, man. Yes, sir.
Majid, what about you? How old are you, man?
Oh, I'm turning 49 next month.
Man.
Praises to him.
Praise to Allah. And I'm,
Oh, me 39.
Right.
39. With a margin of error.
39.
So no, I'm 51.
Man, that is so fantastic, man. I remember exactly, you know, when you all came, and I can see you all, you know, at that time. And boy, you know, just like that picture, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yo,
Yes, sir.
was that my building? I don't know where we were. It could have been where I live, and you all were there. I'm not sure.
On Crown Street.
That was
It's Crown
Crown Street.
Yep.
Mm.
And you had the big long police car.
Yeah.
The big long police
You know-
car. I forgot what it was called.
Yeah.
This is a major part of our lives. Like, you know, inner city youths, you know, could, you know, be involved in any and everything, you know, and then we come into the dojo, and then there's discipline being instilled in our lives, you know. Oh, that's the picture from the other day. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
But Jed, we were missing you, man.
Yeah, we missed you,
Yeah.
Jay. Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you know, that's really a beautiful thing that you just mentioned in terms of the inner city youth. And let's go there a little bit, because, you know, it is so important to help. There's a little noise in the background. I don't know.
Ahmad, mute your phone. Mute your phone.
Yeah. Let me mute my phone
Okay.
because I got the radio playing.
Come on then. All right.
Go ahead, GM.
So in terms of the inner city youth situation, do you see that there's a need for us or for someone to effectively help our community and our inner city youth? Is how different is it from when you all were coming up and now?
There wasn't. I must say that there isn't too much of a difference. The only difference I had was kind of like you guys, like you know, like being able to come to When Worlds Collide, because if you look around, all of the same distractions that were there for me are here for these guys, but these guys don't have the outlet. These guys, you taught me what to do with my aggression, you know, like with our with the way we even started training, like the way, like we, you know, like the chant that we said, like, you know, we had to memorize that, you know, and we had to, and at first it was just memorizing something, but then it became a way of life, you know, like, so even though I ended up knowing how to fight, like I knew how to protect myself, like it wasn't, I wouldn't abuse that now. Like I wouldn't go out here and abuse it. I think I'd give things a second or third thought before just getting into an issue. And I attribute a lot of that to being around you, your brothers, you know, and the other brothers that you exposed us to that were older, way older than me, but I was in the same basket. So that gave me what they already had. Being 15 years old, I'm with you, I'm with Chris, I'm with, you know, all of the other brothers, and I'm looking up to something beautiful. Like, and it's not like y'all were unrelatable, because you had Matt, who I was in love with, you know, Matt, you know, just, you know, he just had a lot of, I loved you all, but I was able to relate to Matt, looked up to him, wanted to be like him, you know. So these are the things that I got to take from you guys, you know, and that saves my life.
Beautiful.
That saved my life. You know, when Worlds Collide has a lot of, I have to give you guys a lot of credit for me making it here today, for me figuring out like the strategies, the strategics that I needed and the logistics that I needed to make it. I attribute a lot of that to When Worlds Collide.
Beautiful.
I would say the same thing. You know, at that time, the difference between now and then is that your presence was filling the void, right? And that void is the presence of Black men in the street. You know, you're not necessarily in the street, but your knowledge, you know, your arms was open for us. And Sanuces was a place for us to go. You know, there was many other things that we could have got involved in, but you know what? We look forward to going to your classes. It kept us off of the streets. It kept us involved. So you look at the difference, right? The difference now is we're facing an absence of positive Black men in the streets. You know, we're facing an absence of brothers who are skillful enough to pass something new down that could keep our kids out of trouble. So, you know, there is a need to fill that void right now. GM, keep doing what you're doing. Man. You don't know how many people you have affected in a positive way.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Thank you.
So I'd like to add on. I'd like to add on real quick. You know, we could talk about Worlds Collide. We can go back further and we could talk about Paul Robeson, you know, the impact that it had on, right? I'm talking about Sanuces Brothers in particular. But then when we get to When Worlds Collide, the lessons that are taught on the mat was not inside of the dojo. It's not just inside of the dojo. It's like these were life lessons that we take with us to this day. And what you did with you know, When Worlds Collide, you instructed each one of us. I got to keep talking about this. You know, this is not praise. This is honor and respect. You know what I mean? This is honor and respect to my father. This is honor and respect to my teacher, right? All praise to Allah. But I'm telling you, I'm saying, like, when you take a group of men and you say to them, you know, guys, I want each one of y'all to come up with a business plan. Do you remember saying this to us? Come up with a business plan. Each one of y'all come up with a business and so on. And I took that and I ran. You know, I even used the logo, you know, for Third Eye Electronics. Remember that? Y'all remember that? Third Eye Electronics. And then, you know, I was doing the computer thing and all of that, you know, the networking and all of that. And Ahmad did Good Brothers and so on. And, you know, like this is not, what you did is amazing. It's amazing. And it's like, you know, my father, you know, being the genius to me that he is, he didn't teach us business. You know what I mean? He didn't teach us business. And like, or he didn't point me in the direction of saying, okay, go start your, he would like say, because he was a vocational man, he would say, get a vocation, go get a job. Whereas you would say, you know, guys, go down to the Kings County clerk office. You telling us where to go. Go to the Kings County clerk office. And I remember everything that you're saying. I'm recording everything and we going down there and we're doing this. We're filing papers. We're, you saved our lives. And like brother Aswan just said, you saved our lives. You saved our lives. And I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. Did we save Ahmad's life though?
Well, well, I literally save lives right now. That's the job that I do.
That's right. That's what you do.
But GM, I wanted to point on the point that Akul was saying. The entrepreneurship that we got from you, we still use it today. Like we're actively using it right now. And it's amazing because we don't fear stepping out and trying it. Whereas that was the thing that you said, you got to go out and you got to do it. And there's countless business plans we put together. Some failed and some still are active right now. But you have to really understand the impact when we saw your humble beginning at 53 Flatbush Avenue, building that to X-Men Security, to building that to us going on movie sets and us doing all of these
getting paid, like literally. Yeah, we were kids. Paid. We were kids. Like you gave me. You and my grandfather, y'all showed me money. Like, I'm sorry, Ahmad, but I just gotta interject. You showed I used to get checks.
Checks.
I used to get checks before I had a bank account. I had to go get a bank account now. That's the position that you put me in. Go ahead, Ahmad. I'm sorry.
No, that's deep. That's deep. Here's a young man saying, I'm getting checks. I need a bank account now. That's not small.
Yes. No, it's not. And we followed you. We really did. Akul made Third Eye Electronics. That was the pyramid with the eye. I made Good Brothers.
Yeah.
Good Brothers is still right now.
Yeah.
It exists right now as an incorporation, and it exists right now. And when you look at the year on the business certificate for Good Brothers, you see it say 1991.
Look at that.
91. Damn.
So GM, it's like if this wasn't forged by Allah to give us the unity that we had, then I don't know what it is, because that has to show you that still today we can talk as if we never left each other's side. Like I saw you yesterday, and we can still have conversations like this. So that this shows you the forging of Allah putting us together like the way we did, and you being our teacher like that.
Man, that's a blessing. It's an honor, to have had you all, because, we speak, but everyone doesn't always listen, but you all listen, So first there was the Word, and the Word was with God. The Word was God, and then it took on. So the Word is first, and you just pray that the seeds that we throw out, that they fall on fertile earth and fertile ground, and you all absolutely was fertile earth and great soil to put seeds in, because you're still rocking and rolling, still together. I mean, the love is still present, even though you don't see each other all the time. And that's why we can like this and have this kind of dialogue. I'd love to hear, each of you kind of go into what you're doing today, So we talked about that, but what are you doing today? how has, or some of the things that you have done, and kind of embellish it to see, to show what it is that you're doing. And we know they came from your receiving seeds from different people. Just thankful to Allah that, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I'm thankful to them that I could have gotten something, you see, and through my motive, through this martial arts that we do, produce a facility that could nurture. We had to, we got to look out and take care of those who come into our doors and treat them like they are our children. And you all are big folk. No, you growner than grown folk right now. You're no little boys anymore. You are doing men things. So I want you can share, let's start with Ahmad, because Ahmad may, have to rock and roll and look like he's getting ready to put on his seatbelt right now.
Right. Yeah.
Come on, Ahmad,
Go ahead, you first. You unmute your mic. Unmute the mic.
Okay, well, currently right now, well, there was a restaurant that was called Jazzy Burgers. It was all right. It was cool. It was a fun spot, and that was a couple of years ago. That was like in 2008. It fed the hood. It fed the hood, and still today it left a mark. Unbelievably so, it left a mark that people ask me, when am I going to open that restaurant again? and you have to believe this, that GM, when you walk by 53 Flatbush Avenue, 53 Flatbush Avenue was 2 doors. All the other merchants on Flatbush Avenue were major windows. We only had 2 doors. But we stood out, you stood out on Livingston and saw When Worlds Collide. So it's the magnitude of that kept us propellers. Now myself and Aquil, we're in the trucking business. We're diving into that. And it's like, we're just not stopping. It's like, there's no fear in that. And it's just amazing that we could still be entrepreneurs, even though we're taking different paths in life. We could still consider that as the ultimate option, not like something that's a hindrance in a sense, right? Like we're doing this because we know our salvation and our freedom is doing your own thing. And that came from you.
I'll be right back, Sam.
That came from you, GM, because remember when you stepped away from, I'm going to use the acronyms, DOC. and I asked you, I said, you really want to do this? And you said to me, it's time to go. Do you remember that?
Man.
And you left.
You're muted. Unmute. Yo, unmute. Ahmad, unmute.
Oh, you might have lost him. Oh, there you go.
There you go. Go ahead. Ahmad, go ahead. Okay.
Am I still
All right.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Hear you now.
Oh, I can't hear myself.
Now you're good.
We can hear you.
Hey.
Oh, but I'm done.
All right.
All right. Okay. Majid?
Oh, wow. Wow. Where I'm at today, pretty much putting in the work. I could compliment you. I could give you a lot of compliment on, you know, the work I'm involved in right now, because you were like a direct doorway into another side besides martial arts. You were the introduction into the political world, you know, with your work with the Nation of Islam and stuff like that. That definitely opened my eyes. You know, that was stuff like me and Aquil and Ahmad and Aswan would talk about all the time. But it was another thing to see somebody who was actively involved in it. So it's very inspirational. I tag that along to a lot of the work that I do now currently. I'm involved with a group, December 12th Movement. I'm a member. We also have a campaign that's called We Will Stop the Killing, basically addressing a lot of the, what you call it, senseless violence that's in the streets right now. And we do that on an everyday basis because we recognize that there is a need for strong Black men to be out in the streets and change the culture of violence. So that's where I'm at right now.
Awesome, awesome. And so tell a little bit about what you finding out there, you know?
What are we finding out there? Oh, wow. What we're finding out there is that it's not our brothers and sisters that we are at war with. It's a mentality. It's a culture of violence. What we're finding out is that our people have been dumbed down to the point, or numbed down to the point where they are acceptant of these ways. You know, a lot of the people are numb. You know, how is it that you could see a young child shot, or someone's mother killed, you know, and not feel compelled to do something about it? You're supposed to be duty bound.
Yes.
You know, to react. This is the equivalent to a fire in the village. And it's going to take all of the villages to put the fire out. You know, what we're seeing in the streets is some of our people feel that we can successfully outsource our responsibilities to the law department, you know, and feel that they would take care of it, but it's not in their interest. Right. You know, you look at it, it is not in the interest of you would say it's not in the interest of the law enforcement to put an end to senseless violence, because it needs it in order for it to exist. Yes. You know, it puts an end to the violence, it then puts an end to the needs of its services. What we're seeing in the street is that the people are definitely, or the masses, they receive us well, but still many are still in fear. So that's why we are staying committed to our work and slowly but surely looking for those of like mind. And hopefully, you know, over time, we'll be able to overcome the problem that exists today.
Yes, sir. And for all of you that are looking onto this conversation that we're having, I know many of you are martial arts enthusiasts or appreciating martial arts, but this is a conversation that you're being exposed to. You're seeing martial arts at work within these young brothers here. See, martial arts is, you know, when we talk about when you are faced with an opponent that is intending on harming you and they're throwing a punch at your face, the question is, you know, who are you dealing with, which is going to determine whether you sidestep them, you know, and allow the energy to pass by, whether you redirect the energy and do damage or lift, you know, control. See, so martial arts is not just kicking and punching. See, this is an application of martial arts in real life. And I want everyone to understand that. Don't think that we're having a talk and it's not about martial arts. You got to understand that these are youth who were endangered and found an opportunity to have some measure of sanctuary and some measure of being around men like Dr. Moses Powell in their presence. They naturally was around him all the time because he was there. Soke Little John Davis, Grand Professor Florinda Visitacion, Grandmaster Bill McLeod. Now, of course, many of their titles weren't those titles at that time, but they were able to grow up watching them grow and watching us grow into what we are at this time. So I just wanted to make sure that segue, that I give you that understanding. So those of you that are martial arts watch, just keep listening so that you can understand how martial arts really work. And can you use martial arts if when your wife is coming at you, or your husband is coming at you with words that are forceful? Can you sidestep because you really love them, you know, and you don't want to hurt them? So sidestep that conversation or that assault on you. Can you gain control? See, because martial arts is being able to place a person under control that doesn't want to be. They don't desire to be under control. So we don't care whether they desire to be under control, because we have control and we can place them under control because it's our will.
Right.
So just to get you back on track. I know I can see you now sitting up watching what we're talking about now a little differently. Okay, so just know that we talking martial arts right now, but we talking real life situation right now. Your life, not just a life. Well, in truth, it is a life and death. Every time a decision is made, it could lead you to your demise, or it can lead you to a greater success in your life.
Which is why I had to tell you.
Yes, sir.
Which is why I had to tell you that you saved my life. When I see a lot of my contemporaries, or a lot of people that didn't go through the channels that I went through, their decision-making skills lead them down a path where they can't return from. When I can see, well, what was the difference in me? The men that I were around, like the things that I was exposed to, that gave me like that second and third thought. Like you think about, you don't just move off of, I don't just move off of instinct because of what I was taught.
Yes, sir.
You know, so that matters. Like not like being, like you say, in control. Like knowing how important control is, because a lot of times when brothers move off of instincts, they take themselves out and someone else.
That's right.
That's right. You know, so I have to give credit to you once again for instilling that in me and my brothers.
Yes, sir.
So
I would love to add on to that. We've been in situations. So for those who want to know how this works out in terms of Sanuces, in terms of survival, we've been in situations, Swan can attest to this, Majid can attest to this, where, you know, things could have gotten really, really bad in terms for us or for the other individual. And because of what Swan just harped on, the ability to think and then speak in a rational manner that would make the alleged opponent understand that there's some sort of mutual respect. You know what I mean? Or if you don't respect this, that there'll be something. You know what I mean? There'll be something else. But speaking to them in such a manner that would make them think twice, or make them, not that we're the baddest person on the block, make them say to themselves, wait a minute, they have a point. This is all Sanuces. This is all survival. That is that sweeping. That is that sidestep. Today, you know, I run a logistics company, and there's about 12 men. And I think it's about three females that work with us. And the young men that work with us, you know, they're here in Philly. And, you know, Philly is now becoming one of the quickest like what they refer to as drill music. Heavily into this drill music now, and it's you know, like the police departments, they're very concerned about this, and you know, I got some of these guys employed with me, so when I'm speaking to them and I see their disposition, I see the neighborhoods that they come from, and I see the type of households that they come from, when they're around me, you know, I see the change in their temperament. My behavior with them is behavior that I have adopted and learned at When Worlds Collide, that I have learned from you, how you dealt with us. Because I know we were a few ruffians coming into the dojo, and you know, that got disciplined quick. You know, that got the dojo disciplines you. So for those people who are listening, to the audience that's listening, we're still talking martial arts. You know, and like, you know, and in my company, it's being applied all the time. And I see it in progress when I'm dealing with the youth, when I'm dealing with these young men that work for me. You know, I see it all the time. I see how I have to approach them, you know. So
now if you saying what you, I'm sorry, and I'm thinking about it, it actually becomes a part of our fabric, because there's nothing that as you were talking, and I'm thinking, what is it that I do where I don't apply martial art? And I couldn't think anything.
Right. Wow. But you know what's interesting? What's interesting is, you know, you got a lot of people who read The Art of War, the Book of Five Rings.
Right.
Yeah. I think Sanuces needs to come out with a book. You know, you can apply it in many different ways.
Yes, sir.
And GM, I thank you again.
The book of,
you know, you've been there for me more ways than one. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm gonna start writing my chapter or my take tonight. Everyone, I suggest you all do the same.
Add on to the book of Sanuces. Yes, sir.
Yes, we have to submit. We need the book. You need the book of Aziz. You need the book of
we got some work to do.
The book of Aziz.
I see it.
You know, and don't take it lightly, because this could help the ones behind us.
Right.
We made it.
You are so right. I have used many different techniques in my own way on the job. You know, you can't always fight. It's not a physical thing. Sometimes you got to think on a mental side. You know, well, how am I going to block this situation? How am I roll out of it? You know, and it's been very helpful. You know, you can't deal with it. This is not always the solution.
No.
Must think.
That's right. And I'll say this to you all, like, you know, the martial, and you've heard me say it before, but the fighting, the physical part is only 10%. It's only 10%. It's 90% is mental. 10% is physical. So, you know, that's why that if we got to fight, that either we did not use the 90% that could have kept us from fighting, or we need to increase that that aspect of our mind to be able to come up with the things necessary. And you know, there are those who are taught just to fight. And let me say this to you all out there that's listening to us. Those of you that are martial arts instructors, you know, there is the development of finances, and that is understood. Make sure that you have an aspect of looking into people to change their condition. And it should supersede your finance. But if you're wise, you'll be able to increase the finances. And is the intent to make money, or is the intent to save lives? But that you can do them both at the same time.
Us.
Us.
Man. So about your business, Aquil, you didn't kind of go into that.
It's a logistics company, transportation company. We haul cars. We haul cars that are in distress. We haul cars that are coming straight out of the auction or coming straight from the dealers or coming straight out of the ports. You know, brand new vehicles coming straight out of the ports, and we're moving them through tri-state area, Jersey. My tri-state would now be like Philly, Maryland, and New Jersey. But I move from Maryland through New York almost every day. So we got guys that are, you know, they're moving out every day, you know, on trucks or flatbeds or, you know, trailers. Every day that they're out there doing this type of stuff, you know.
What can you use to help build your business? Do you need drivers? Do you need, you know, are you looking for anything?
We always, you know, you see companies all the time, and you see in the back of the truck, it says drivers wanted. In this field, that's a major necessity, right? But this is what I would say. I have a good group of men and women right now that you know, there's material to work with. Like, you know, I'm not abandoning them. Like these they need to work, and you know, they come out and they work, and it's sometimes it's a lot of long hours, and you know, you're dealing with different attitudes, different personalities, and you know, people, you know, some might feel, oh, this is not fair, whatever the case may be. But then when you stop and you start explaining to them, and we don't do this just like, you know, this is a job. I'm trying to show them how to get their own as well. And in that same thing, what you've given us, I'm passing those lessons on to them, and they stay. So I'm not really in need of drivers, and they bring others to you. They say, yo, my man, he needs a job. You know, they bring others to you. And, you know, I just real quick, like, you know, there's things that, you know, they could be involved in. I was along. And as long as they're with me, and I heard you say this before, as long as they're with me, right? They're not out doing something else that can get them wrapped up. You understand what I'm trying to say? And one of the youngest ones came to me the other day, and he was like, you know what I appreciate about being with the company is that I don't need to be out there doing something else, and I'm getting paid for it. So, you know, you know, Sanuces is, to me, this is all Sanuces. It's all Sanuces. And I know for the martial artists that are listening to this podcast, you probably want to hear something about, you know, how we use our martial arts physically. Listen, there's a lot of stories that we can talk about. I don't know how appropriate that's going to be for this podcast right now. But, you know, really, you're not talking, you know, the men that are on this podcast right now are real men with real life situations. And we've been in, these are my brothers. This is the Sanuces Brothers for real, right?
That's right.
And we've been in survival situations for real. And again, I don't know how appropriate, I don't know how appropriate that would be, but yes, we do this. We do this.
I mean, we made it here. Like,
That's right.
We made it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
I don't know, GM, did I ask you a question? I'm sorry, did I ask you a question?
You did. No, I mean,
Okay.
I'm loving it, man. You know, and know that all of our conversations is a part of the book now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
To videotape, and we can transpose this, and we can produce what is necessary. But it is a part of the book. So I'm glad you even mentioned that, Swan, you know, because it is important that we do that. We our contribution. So this is great. So I want to be able to say, you know, and as we are closing, I want to be able to promote anything that you want to be promoted to this audience. If there's anything, I mean, you have been promoting and whatnot, but if you want to share a number, a company number, about what you do, anything, you know, Majid, Aswan, whatever, you'd like to share to help enhance your business, because it's all about building each of us up to make something. This podcast, I'm not the one to do this. This is not really my, I didn't plan this. I was kind of pushed into this. I was pushed into this. And, but what I did find is that, our life, we really don't get a chance to really see each other and understand each other. And I'm getting to know who I've thought I knew so much better with these podcasts. And I'm really grateful that I was forced to do it. But anyway, so if there's something that you'd like to share before we close this portion, please share it.
I want to say this. I know that there's more podcasts to come, and there's a lot of information that comes with this, right? So in the next podcast, what I'd like to build on is when we first met you, when we first met Grandmaster Vitesion. Am I saying that right? Grandmaster V. Let me just say V. When we first met the doctor, and when we first met Little John Davis, when we first met GM Bill McLeod, I want to get into that. I want to get into the experiences that we had when we first met these great individuals that had a profound impact on our lives. And we have a lot of stories that are, a lot of people who are in the Sanuces Rule family, Kumite Rule family, Vijitsu Rule family. On this side, we have a lot of the information and a lot of the history. We have it here on this side, or for this branch of the tree.
Yes.
I just want to I guess that will be in our next podcast.
All right. I like it.
Right. To my brothers, I sent out an invitation. We definitely need bodies on the street. Yes. So we have 456 Nostrand, right? That's in Bed-Stuy. And, I look forward to seeing my brothers. Usually we have meetings or we meet there around maybe 6 o'clock to 7 between Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesday. You all right?
Yes, and let me say this, y'all, with him saying that, the question is, do those of you in that New York area and in the surrounding area that can come in, even when you come in, you can touch down with them. See, but the question is, do you really want to try what you study? Do you want to put it to see if it works? Now the thing is, I'm not just saying physically, but you see, getting out there makes you to understand and be ready to face something that's real. See, so do you want to really get out there and check it out? Well, if you do, this is where you want to touch down. You coming into New York or whatever the case is, give a phone a seat. So you can just touch bases and get on the ground, get a little something in, and then you can go back up into the mountain. So is there a number that they can contact you, or an email address or something maybe would be better?
Sure. Oh boy, I'll shoot that out to you. I don't have the number on me.
Just send it.
I don't want to give out my phone number.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Swan, big man.
I didn't hear that cut off.
No, I said, is there anything you wanted to say lastly before we close out?
No. I just appreciate this. This needs to be done more and more. And like you said, we get to learn so much, from people who we thought that we knew very well. We get to know much more, and we get to give more. You know, so let's keep this going. It was beautiful.
That's right.
And I want to say to you, man, that, you are a great inspiration. Just even in this call, your energy, your comments are all strong and leading. You know, it's beautiful, man. I'm really proud of you.
It's a product of where I'm from. You know, like it's a product, and this is not no torn who in. We produce beautiful men. Like everybody that's came through the channels are beautiful people. We do beautiful things. We have beautiful things to offer, and so we got to give it up. We got to do this much more. There's no mistakes. There are no coincidences. Everything is for a reason, and this feels good. Let's push.
Man, you know, as one who considers you all children of myself and of course of our family, I'm you know, this makes me feel very good to know that you all are keeping the faith and continuing the work and building on the work. You know, it is really, really beautiful. It's impressive. It's definitely, I have to thank Allah for you all because you all are such an aid to our people. And of course to me, I mean, I'm just blown away by just who you all are now. You know, I'm grateful and very thankful. So thank you for what you have done.
Likewise, and thank you.
Likewise, thank you.
Much more than you thank me. Believe me. Believe me.
Slide, boy. Yes, sir. Okay, listen, everybody, man. Listen, thank you for this here. We got a little bit more that's going to happen, you know, and it's a little bit more, but it's not little. We have a health portion that's going to come on right after this, and then we're going to let you all go. But continue looking at this and know that my lovely wife, Azziza Muhammad, she's doing the interviews dealing with the health now, because you know she's the one who is working on keeping me healthy. And that's what she loves to do. So here's Azziza. Love you all. Us.
Welcome. Thank you, Grandmaster Abdul Azziz, for allowing us to come back and speak to these beautiful people and help them on a healthy journey during their life. We have Master Andrew Reid again, who's going to be sharing some helpful tips on how we can improve our health and our lifestyle. Right now, some of you that are on may not have seen the other podcast or know who this gentleman is, but he's a martial art practitioner as well. Very, very experienced in the art. And he is experienced in living a healthy lifestyle as well. So that's why we have him here, to share some healthy tips with you. He is our healthy guru, doctor. I know he don't like me to refer to him as doctor, but I'm just gonna say he's the healthy guru for us today, okay? So Master Andrew Reid, let's go back a little bit. We can recap, you know, the previous weeks for those who weren't here, and then share with them what you have for this week for them to focus on. Because I remember you said keeping it simple and a little bit at a time to create a healthy lifestyle. So the floor is yours.
Greetings and blessings, Sister Azziza. It's a pleasure to be here once again. Just sharing a little bit of positivity. You know, when we started this program, we started it and we said we're going to start with lemon and water, you know, just to flush the system, flush the kidneys.
Yes.
And we move from that, we move to how the intestine works, the large intestine and the small intestine, and how we're going to flush the system to get all the poisons out the liver. I mean, I hope everybody's doing that over these weeks, because I'm sure they're seeing positive results.
Yes.
You know, then we went into the ginger effect. You know, some people commented on how it's a love, a miracle, and how it's so great for them. But and then we went from there. We try to get into how the body works with all these, getting the nutrients from our foods that we eat. And a lot of people wrote me, and even Grandmaster, Walters, he wrote and he said, I'm online, I'm getting it, it's working for me. So, we have that going for us. In these times, we have a lot more things to worry about, and very simple things to worry about, like sugar and salt within our diet.
Yes.
Some people have it already, but some people are already there.
Yes, sir.
And some people have it under control. What I really, really would love to do this week, because the ending of last week, we got into the shakes and how to maintain being full without having any filling, using less filling and more nutrients.
Yes.
So, this week I want to just share a little bit about the plan. And it's like, it's a miracle plan. A lot of people, ask me, what's the name? And I tell them, it's Cerasee. And they don't know the spelling. So I'll spell it out for you. And it's Cerasee. Cerasee. Right? And, as we say in Jamaica, Cerasee is to be taken seriously.
Yes, sir.
Because it works for you.
Yes, sir.
I had given you some already, Sister Azziza. Tell me a little bit about what you think.
That's what you gave me?
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't know that's what that was. Well, that was the herb that you got and you gave to my husband? Okay,
yes,
and I boiled it, and I don't know if I did it right, but I washed, I washed the herb, rinsed the herb off and everything, and then I boiled the herb. I let it steep in boiling water. I didn't boil the herb, but I let it steep in boiling water. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Yes, that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Pour the boiling water on it and just draw it like tea. Yes.
Yes. And I drank it, and it's bitter.
You know what? Remember what it's doing for you.
Oh yeah, I
it's
don't have
actually taking out all of that sugar. And when you have it, and the day after or two, how did you feel?
Well, actually, I have to, now this has been a while now, so I'm gonna have to go back to and try to remember exactly how I felt, but I was still doing the lemon water, okay? Actually, I don't know if I had, well, I do lemon water anyway, even before you had, shared it with us, but not in the quantity that you said for us to do it. But the Cerasee was kind of bitter tasting, but that doesn't bother me because I can drink the craziest stuff when I know that it's good for me. I'll drink red root powder and water straight down if I know it's going to help me, okay? But I have to say that afterwards, because my blood pressure, was a little bit, it wasn't really high, but it had been higher than I liked. And I noticed that, let's see, when I'm thinking back to when I took it, I took my blood pressure with my girlfriend, I think, who's a naturopathic doctor, and my blood pressure was perfect. It was really good. And I hadn't seen it so perfect in a while. It doesn't go up too high, but it was at a really great level that particular time. So since I know that was Cerasee, yeah, you better send me some more.
It's on its way. It's on its way. Mm-hmm. But what I want to express is that what we're doing here, we're doing it very simple. Yeah. The herbs is what is the healing to your body. Mm-hmm. So we say the herb is the healing of the nation.
Yes, sir.
So when you use these things, we're not hiding it from anyone. We're giving it to you straight up.
Yes,
You
sir.
get the syrup, you boil it, you drink it. I suggest you have a cup every week. Your
Oh,
blood pressure goes down, right? Because you're having
okay.
your lemon and water, so that's keep flushing your system. No,
Mm-hmm.
nobody should stop the lemon and water,
Mm-hmm.
because if it's not broken, don't fix it.
That's right.
So it's working for you. Keep making it work. It's getting out all that poison out your liver. The
Yes.
syrup is going to get all the sugar out your blood
Man,
and out your system.
that's awesome because you know our community suffers so greatly with diabetes and high blood pressure. And to have a simple remedy, matter of fact, my son-in-law was just talking to me this morning, and he said that he needed to get his blood pressure down because of his work. You know, in order to continue the work that he does, his blood pressure has to be in a good range. And he drinks, every day he drinks hibiscus and mullein and something else. But I took his blood pressure today and it wasn't good. It was better, he said, than it had been, but it really wasn't good. So this, if I knew what you're telling me now, I could have told him that, but I will be
That's
telling
right.
him that tomorrow when I see him. Yeah, but you got to tell everybody where to get it.
Wow. I grow it in the back of my yard. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. You probably can look online. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if, you know, I'm going to be very honest with you because I'm always honest, especially when it comes to herbs.
Yes,
I don't know what, if you're going to get online, is going to be what is in the back of my yard.
I understand.
So, the plant is cerasee, again, Cerasee,
Mhm.
and that's just one part of what we're doing today. It's just one part. That's just a small part.
Okay,
The part that we're working on today is that it has high antioxidant.
yes, sir.
So it takes care of the toxin that it needs to take care of immediately.
Wow.
You know, when you went to your friend and she did that the first time, after you take that, it went back down to where you need it to go. That's all you need. But other people can need more or less.
Yes,
We
sir.
don't know.
Yes,
But what
sir.
we do know, that the plant seriously works for you. What we're trying to do is to avoid you going into the doctor for nothing and trying to get synthetic pharmaceutical stuff for nothing. That's what we're doing. We're not trying to tell you go and buy something. We're telling you plant it.
So, you know, when we look at the herbs, you know, it's always a question of whether or not we have a good, authentic, you know, potent herb. And is there any advice you can give us as to how to recognize whether or not we have good stuff? Or maybe you know some herbal companies that you would recommend that deal in good, you know, potent herbs?
I personally would have to research because I don't recommend anything unless I research it.
Yes,
so,
sir.
I mean, I'll be sure to recommend and research first before I recommend
Okay.
anything that I recommend, because again, it's herbs.
Yes.
And most pharmaceutical research from herbs, they just create the synthetic protocol of it. So I always want to be on that balance to say, hey, look, I will research, and in the next session on our tips, I will give you the information that I have found that I think that would be profitable for you guys to have.
Okay.
And if I don't find it next week, I'll find it the other week. I'm not in a haste to find something to give
Right.
you that won't work.
I
That's why we're on this program, to give you something that will work.
appreciate that.
So, I mean,
Definitely
saying
wanna-
that, you know, we're on the time of the hour that we need to say to the people. I will tell you again, when you come on this show, you know, you're gonna get the real deal. You're gonna get the real stuff, and I won't give you something that I have not researched. Again, the word is CERASE.
Seriously.
Please take it seriously.
I
It's good
will.
for your health.
Mm-hmm. You might have to dry some out and send it to me, or something where I can plant some too.
I can do that, but don't tell anybody, okay?
Okay, I'm not gonna tell anybody.
But we got you like that, you know. And again, I want to say I'm very grateful to be sharing something that will help a lot of people in their health. It's such of a blessing to be here with you, Sister Azziza. It's truly a blessing.
The blessing is mine. And you know, I want to say this. These tips, like especially this one, which, you know, that you shared with us with Seriously and how quickly it works. I want everybody to remember that you can't keep doing what you're doing that got you in the situation you're in, and then take something that's supposed to help still while you're doing what you were doing to get you in the situation you were in, that you're in. We have to change our eating habits. We have to change how we think. We have to change what we do in order to change our lifestyle. In order to get better, we have to do better. So we're not talking about putting a Band-Aid on anything. We're not talking about being able, like some commercials will tell you, oh, you don't have to change what you're eating. Just take this and you can still eat the chocolate cake. You can still eat the pizza. You can still, no, we've got to change our lifestyle. And that's what I am so happy to have Master Andrew share these things with us and take us one step at a time to make it easy for us to change our lifestyle, so it doesn't seem overwhelming. So you got it, Master Andrew. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
It only gets better.
It only gets better. Right. No, I got a question though, before we, transition back to Grandmaster Abdul Azziz. How often should we have this seriously? I think you did mention it earlier, but can you mention it again?
I think that for the first month, you should have seriously once a week.
Okay.
And then after that, I think you should have it once every 2 weeks. And as soon as your body adjusts, you can have that once a month.
Okay. Is there a particular time of the day you should have it, or should it be in the
tea? I normally have tea in the morning, because during the day you eat, and you eat all the sugar. You want that to be there first to break down everything that comes.
Okay.
That's how I think of it.
Okay. So for those of
the digestive system works very simple when you take care of the bacteria first.
Take the tea before you eat.
I would. That's what I do.
Okay, great. All right. And do you suggest like an hour before, or does it matter if it's right before?
I would say, like you have a glass of water an hour before. I should take the tea an hour before, just like how you have the ginger hour before dinner.
Okay.
You could have the syrup an hour before you have lunch, being as you have the ginger, the lemon and water first thing in the morning.
Okay. Okay.
So I would think that that's, you follow the trend that works for you, and it becomes a lifestyle, and that's what we want.
Well, that's a very good tip. So those of us who are on the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's How to Eat to Live program of 1 meal a day, And if you're eating between those hours of 4 to 6, as he has stated we should, then you want to have your tea an hour before that hour you're able to eat. And I know for me, when I drink tea, it kind of stimulates my appetite. So that's perfect to have it before I eat, would work perfectly. Yes. Thank you, Master Andrew Reid. So let's recap. Okay, let's recap. Everybody get on that lemon water. And if this is the first time that you have gotten on, we are squeezing 1 lemon into 32 ounces of clean, pure water. And we're drinking that first thing in the morning, okay? Not eating anything until at least 45 minutes after. If you eat in the morning, then just remember, 45 minutes after you drink that lemon water, you can put some food into your system. If you're not eating, perfect, great. Just have that water, cleanse yourself in the morning, and go on about your day. But remember, 32 ounces of water for the whole day is not enough. You gotta have more water. So if you are, just be conscious to have at least half of your body weight in ounces of water a day, okay? And then we introduced, or Master Andrew introduced, the ginger. We took a big piece of ginger, blended it up with 8 ounces of water, and he told us to take how much, Andrew?
3 teaspoons, 8 ounces of water, 3 teaspoons.
You know what? I was taking 3 tablespoons.
No, table. I'm sorry, table. You got it right.
Oh, it is?
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You got it right. My bad. You got it right. 3 tablespoons. Okay. Yes.
So 3 tablespoons of that blended up ginger, and you use the whole ginger. Clean it off, use the whole ginger, and put it in the blender, and 8 ounces of water, and you take 3 tablespoons an hour before you eat. That's supposed to help your digestive system so that you can digest what you eat, right? Okay, I'm just recapping. Then we had the protein shake the 3rd week, right? So that you can get the proper protein, amino acids, so on and so forth. You can choose your own protein if you want, okay? But just choose the best with no sugar, okay? Or very minimal sugar. And put in, Master Andrew Reid, you told us beets, banana.
That's what I do with mine.
Okay.
Bananas.
And whatever fruit you like, right?
Yes.
Okay, so perfect. So that's where we've been for the past 3 weeks, right? And this week we are dealing with getting our sugar levels down. So if you have a craving for sugar, man, we got to go find that Cerasee. 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 Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, my Jamaican guru brother, for all the healthy tips that you shared with us. And I'm going to turn it right back over to Grandmaster Abdul Azziz Muhammad so that he can talk to these martial artists and make sure these martial artists are doing what they need to do to get in shape. Not just know how to, hurt something up, but know how to cure something too. All right? Well, peace and blessings, my brother. Till next week, may God continue to bless you. Back to you, Grandmaster. Okay, so let's get to our...
We're still recording?
It was still recording. It's still recording, but they'll break it, okay? So let's get to our second set.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll come on with that, okay?
Let me get the other segment here.
Okay. How many minutes was that?
That was a little bit long. That was 24.
Okay, well, we'll deal with it.
A little bit more. Okay. So here we go now. We're ready again.
Okay. Thank you, Grandmaster Abdul Azziz Muhammad. Here we are again with our guru, Master Andrew Reid. And before I go any further, let me say right now, because I realize that I may forget, but if you like what Grandmaster Abdul Azziz Muhammad is bringing to you, please click like, okay? Also, make a comment, share with him your thoughts, and even if you want to see something more, share with him what you're thinking, okay? Also, don't forget to subscribe to the official Grandmaster Anthony Muhammad YouTube page. Click subscribe. So here we are again. We got Master Andrew Reid coming to bring us some healthy tips for the following week. And we will definitely check in with you to see how you've done over the past week with what he gave you last week. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, Master Andrew Reid is a martial art practitioner out of Naples, Florida. He is a personal trainer, and he helps all of his clients get onto a healthy lifestyle, because working out, developing muscles, and all that other stuff is not just enough, is it? No, he puts them on a program so that they can eat right and they can have the energy that they need to get to where they want to go. So, Master Andrew Reid, what are we talking about this week?
Greetings and blessings, Sister Azziza. It's always a blessing to be here with you.
Thank you. Thank you. The blessing.
We're going to continue a little bit on the tip and refresh the people about where we're coming from and where we are. You know, we, like you said, we came from the lemon and water, we came into the ginger, we went into the shake. Now we're at the tip of the syrup. We know what the syrup does for us. I'm hoping that, you know, people have gotten their order in. I have not fully and finished researched the companies that are out there. I know there's a lot of companies from around the Caribbean that, you know, that are out there, but I haven't fully researched. So like I said last week, I will not give you the information if it's not correct.
Yes, sir.
So we'll move from there. So we know it's good, syrup is good for cleaning the blood.
Yes, sir.
Cleaning the sugar from the blood. Now, last week, I didn't want to take on what you said about the high blood pressure until this week.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm going to concentrate now on high blood pressure when it comes to syrup.
Yes, sir.
And we know it is good for high blood pressure and cholesterol.
Oh, okay.
Now we know that that's another one of those miracle foods that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at high blood pressure. What brings high blood pressure? And I know a lot of people are going to say, man, he comes from a different angle with this one. But the biggest cause of high blood pressure is worries. Yes.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the biggest source of high blood pressure.
Wow. Wow.
So again, as martial artists, we know that we're not breathing properly and we're not listening to the higher meditation of what's supposed to be taking care of our bodies.
Okay.
We have to love ourselves. Anything that's going to give us maximum pressure, we have to let it go. It's not worth it.
I love it.
And then the foods we eat now, because that's what we're here, right?
Yes.
So the foods we eat is going to maximize what we're worrying about, because we want comfort. So we go to comfort foods.
Wow.
Right? So let's back it up a little bit.
Okay.
The highest form is actually what we worry about on a daily then we need comfort. So we go for the food that comforts us the most. What is that? I mean, fried chicken, I
Salty
don't
and
know,
sweet.
some ice cream, I don't
Yes.
know,
Yes.
a little bit of chocolate, I don't know.
Bread.
Yes, you know, and we get comfortable. Now, is comfortable being ready? I don't know. I believe that sometimes when we are actually worrying about something, that's when we actually should say, let me take care of things that can actually have me to sleep properly.
Yes, sir.
So my body can actually heals itself, regenerate,
Yes, sir.
and I'm ready for tomorrow. So
Yes.
the Siracy helps you with your high blood pressure. So when it helps you with your high blood pressure, then you have no pressure. Now, we know that pressure in anything explodes.
Yes.
So that's why we have that stroke, we have that heart attack, we have mental breakdown. And guys, mental breakdown is real.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm not going to play with that one. That
Yes.
is real. So that's why we have Siracy as a plant, which we say plant and herbs are the healing of the nation.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to use the Siracy plant not only to clean our blood, but to help bring down our blood pressure and our cholesterol.
Yes, sir.
So let's think about what we have been doing since we started. We cleanse our body. We stabilize the bacteria in our stomach. We build the good bacteria in our stomach. We got protein that gives us energy. And now we're going to clean our blood that will stabilize our whole entire body. And this plant, if you have been researching the plant over the last week, you'll realize that we're going really, really step by step. And it has 5 different substances in it that we can benefit from. And nutrition in it that we can actually use to heal our bodies. So from there, we're going to go back to Sister Azziza, who tell us that her friend say, let me check your pressure. And after she drank the tea, it was normal. Before that, it was not high, but it was not normal. And if she had known, she would have told her. So tell me a little bit about how you felt when you find that this thing helped you and your precious Sister Azziza.
You know, Master Andrew Reid, whenever I find anything that is helpful for my health, man, I do my best to use it all the time. You know, and so Siracy is, and then the other part is I always tell people about, because whatever is good for me and I see good for others, I just have to share. I have to share it because, you know, good health is, I'm just very passionate about people having good health. And I was so glad when you started talking about Siracy last week, because I had a whole long list in my head on people that I needed to give this information to. So I want to thank you. Thank you.
You know, it's a blessing, like I said, and I will say it again. It's a true blessing to be on this platform, sharing freely.
Yes, sir.
You know, we're not telling people to go there and shop, No, this is herbs.
Yes.
And sometimes when you see it, you can identify it and know what it is.
Yes, sir.
You know,
There's
and
I did want
truly
to
a
give,
blessing for me to learn from my ancestors, from my culture, from my little mountain that I'm from,
yes,
and
sir.
get the pleasure and the opportunity to share, which I'm getting feedback already from people who it's helping. So
Yes.
I want to thank you and Grandmaster Azziz. Blessings, you know.
Well, all praise is due to Allah. We, we believe that God has given us exactly what we need in order to live a healthy life that is here. And it's not in synthetic form, but it's live. He put it here for us. Who better knows how to heal our bodies than he who made them? So
That's
what
right.
we have to do is seek, and we shall find. And I'm so glad we found you to help us to know what to look for and how to use it. So I thank God for you, my brother. Herbology has been an interest of mine since I was a teenager. And I feel so comfortable, just learning. It's like, I'm super excited about it.
You know, it's important that people get excited because of what it does for you.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's the literature that has not been hidden.
Yes, sir.
You know, you go and you find that literature and you read about it. You see how you feel after you have that healing portion in you. And,
Yes,
you understand that it's really, really important for everyone to know how they feel before you go to the doctor. Know how you feel. You know, it's very important.
yes, it is. It really
If you
is.
can't explain how you feel, they can't help you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, and sometimes when you explain how you feel, you go and you read the literature of a herb, and you said, oh, let me take that herb before I even go to the doctor, because I'm going to feel better. Seriously, is it? That's the plant that you should literally take and have a piece of seriously in your house at all times.
Yes,
That's
sir.
one of those plants.
Yes, sir.
And by the way, I'm drying yours right now.
Awesome, awesome. Because you see, during this time, when things are really getting a little bit scarce, things are becoming scarce for us. And some of us are learning how to grow our greens indoors, to plant our crops on land if we have land, so on and so forth. So, we've got basil growing in our pots, thyme, rosemary, sage, but these are some of the other things too then that we need to look at to plant for our healing. And this is really a great time to share this information, Master Andrew, because we have to get ready. We have to get ready.
And like Grandmaster, as he says, once we get ready and we're ready,
we'll
we
always
don't need to get ready anymore. We're ever ready, So yeah. I like those quotes from Grandmaster Azziz. They're just powerful. They move my bones, and I love it. So it's a good thing. It's a great thing, and I'm so blessed. Like I said, we have to keep seriously in mind, because remember, we have another 4 different areas where seriously helps you. We're just touching the surface.
So are you going to talk about those 4 other things next time, or
yes, I will.
Okay, because yes, I'll be like speeding. I want to know, what are the 5 things? Tell me now.
And like we said, and we know why we do, and we give the information according to how we need people to flow with it, because we want them to have a good experience. We don't want people to overdo it, because anything you overdo, it's still not good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll calm down.
Everything we do in moderation is what we have to actually work with. And that's one of the main reasons why on this platform, we do not give out too much information that we know people are going to overdo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, we need to just keep it simple. Simpler is better.
Yes, sir. Wow. Well, I truly appreciate you, Master Andrew. You know, as I said on our first segment, I do like things simple. You know, whenever I see too many, you know, like just too much going on and too much to do, you know, I fall back and I have to look at it in my view and see how I can simplify it if it's something that I know that I have to do. So I appreciate that. I really do. You know, I know that I'm a bit, you know, like, oh, I want to know the next thing. That's because it's so, I'm so passionate about it. But I appreciate this. And this is what people will make it so much easier for people to do, you know, and to really get that lifestyle changing little by little, one step at a time. So thank you for the reminder. Thank you for leading us on a very, I should say, a journey that will be easy to do. We just have to do it. Okay. Well, with that, do you have any last words for our listeners, our watchers today?
We got this.
We got this. That's right. And always love. I like what you said. You got to love yourself.
Always love yourself.
Love yourself. That's right. Praise the Lord. That's right. So, my listeners, remember, write your comments. Share your comments with us. Hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. But we'll be coming back at you with the next tips and one of the 4 other ways Seriously helps our system. So see you next week. Thank you, Grandmaster Abdul Azziz Muhammad, for this platform, and I turn it back over to you.
Student of a master here today, you reflect your master teacher. You want to walk like him. You want to talk like her. But you start by having an object in front of you that you admire.